head of the David Christian Center. Some saw it as harmless, even a way to connect with younger generations and challenge the idea that faith must always look rigid. Others, however, questioned whether certain lines are being blurred in the name of relevance. But beyond the tattoo itself, a deeper issue began to emerge. Many young people say the real struggle isn't about appearance, but it's about pressure. They describe a culture where almost everything is heavily spiritualized and expectations can feel overwhelming. So the question remains, are young people abandoning faith, or are they quietly stepping back from environments that feel too intense? With growing concern as to whether churches are still welcoming spaces for younger generation, many are asking the question, are Gen Zs actually leaving the church? If yes, why? Is it a struggle to adapt to a changing world? Let's find answers to this question right here on the street as we interview different generations to hear the perspective about the story.
I never feel the Bible or Jesus is asking too much. He's asking what is necessary for you. So if it comes to tattoos, the Word of God necessarily doesn't say anything about tattoos. Leviticus does, but that was based on doctrine and based on time. But as of today, I believe tattoos are okay.
Your consecration matters. For some people, it may be a sin. For some people, it may not really be a sin. Over spiritualization, that's the religious spirit in the church, could actually be a reason why Gen Zs are leaving. But at the same time, it could just be that Gen Zs don't want discipline. They don't want accountability.
We judge people. That's why Gen Zs of nowadays are going out of the church. Someone will obviously tell you that I'd rather pray in my house than go to church because they will criticize me on what I'm wearing and the tattoo. So for the pastor that draw a tattoo on his hand that is going viral, for me, it's his choice and it's between him and his God. God not a judge person.
But not everyone agrees with that. Reverend Biggie Ajala is the reverend from Holding Faith the World Ministry.
I don't think over-spiritualization is the issue here. I think it's under-spiritualization. It's because we don't understand what true spirituality means. That's the reason why we're asking these questions. If a tattoo is not having a tattoo is why I don't want to stay in a church, then I don't understand the reason why the church has been instituted. It is much more than all of this. And I see these questions and these issues as a distraction. You know, the Bible wants us not to be unaware of the wiles of the enemy. That word means the bait. You know, and the bait he would use for somebody who likes to drink is different from the person who likes to gamble.
We've heard the views of the Gen Zs and views of the Reverend. But what about others not so young, but not so old people? What do they make of this debate? Emilia Chukwemeka comes from the age group referred to as millennial.
They preach the word of God, but the appearance actually tones down what the church should look like, or what being in church should look like. It's not everything you can wear to church. You don't come to church to talk anyhow, or maybe putting tattoo on your body, exposing your body anyhow. It's not right. It's actually very, 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 very wrong.
Now that you have listened to different perspectives, do you agree that over-spiritualization is the reason Gen Zs are actually leaving the church? Grace Oluwaranti, AIT News, Abuja.
Leaders of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in Nasarawa North Senatorial District have passed a vote of confidence on the governor. That's Abdullahi Sule, citing his commitment to infrastructure development and inclusive leadership across the zone. The endorsement followed a strategic meeting in Akwanga with the State Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Kwanta Yakubu, attended by more than 400 clergy. In a communique read by the zonal chair, Best Barau Nuhu, CAN leaders from Akwanga, Nasarawa Egon, and Wamba local government areas praised the governor for key development projects in the district.
Since assumption of office in 2019, unity, religious tolerance, and the quest for the security of life and property of the citizens of Nasarawa State has become the hallmark of His Excellency, Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule administration. We can attest to this as partners in the governor's call for prayers for security and peaceful coexistence in the zone and Nasarawa State in general.
Major interventions, including the Akwanga underpass, the Wamba Nasarawa Egon Road, the establishment of the Faculty of Engineering at Gudu under the Nasarawa State University KEFI, and the relocation of Dalhatu Araf Specialist Hospital to Akwanga.
Asphalting and township routes in Akwanga, including underpass, Gudi, Wamba, and Nasarawa Igon towns. Expansion of educational institutions like the Nasarawa State University's Faculty of Engineering and the Public Relations University at Gudi, and massive renovation of schools. Improvement in healthcare delivery across the zone, and the siting of the relocated Dalhatu Araf Specialist Hospital, Dash, in Akwanga. Rural roads electrification and water supply.
The Christian body also commended the governor for promoting religious harmony and inclusive governance, noting the appointment of several Christians into strategic positions in the state government. Now, troops of Operation Wellstroke have arrested a suspected high-profile criminal during an intelligence-led operation in Agasha village in Guma local government area of Benue State following a reported attack on a resident. According to a statement by the acting media information officer of the Joint Task Force, Lieutenant Zubairu Ahmed, troops of the Chief of Army Staff Intervention Battalion 11 swiftly deployed to the area after receiving credible intelligence about the incident. The troops cordoned the community and carried out a targeted search operation, which led to the arrest of a suspected militia member, Sunet David Akum, aged 27. A locally fabricated rifle was recovered from the suspect, who is currently under investigation. In another operation in Kasinala local government area, troops sustained pressure on criminal elements, forcing kidnappers to abandon 5 victims they had held in captivity. The victims, who had spent between 10 days and over a month in captivity, were rescued after troops closed in on the kidnappers. The troops also responded to intelligence on bandits' activities in Untam village in the same local government area. Although the suspects fled before the troops arrived, security forces recovered several items, including firearms, military gear, motorcycles, and charms believed to belong to the criminals. The first commander of Operation Wellstroke, Major General Gara, commended the troops for their professionalism and asked them to sustain the operational momentum in ongoing efforts to curb criminal activities in the area. Now, Nigeria's Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has commended the professionalism of Nigerian journalists, stressing that members of the media should never be treated as beggars, but accorded the respect due to professionals. The police force chief made the remark while speaking as a guest at the Nigeria Union of Journalists FCT Council's Congress in Abuja. Disu, who praised journalists covering the FCT, called for stronger collaboration between the police and the media to enhance effective information sharing and public trust. He said his relationship with the media has always been built in mutual respect and professionalism, noting that journalists play a vital role in informing the public and contributing to national development. The Inspector General further urged both police officers and journalists to conduct themselves responsibly at all times, emphasizing that professionalism and good conduct leave lasting legacies and impressions on society. The chairperson of the FCT Council of the NUJ, Grace Ike, congratulated the new IGP on his appointment, describing him as a long-standing friend of the media. She expressed confidence in his leadership and assured him of the council's readiness to collaborate with the police in reporting security issues objectively. Ike also said that the IGP would be invited as a special guest to the FCT Council's 2026 Press Week celebration. She reiterated the commitment of the NUJ FCT Council to promoting responsible journalism and supporting initiatives aimed at strengthening security and governance in the FCT. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, says sound administration and improved welfare remain critical to the strength and readiness of the Nigerian Army. He said this during a deployment of troops where he said that all things must be appropriately supported to sustain their resilience and professionalism in the discharge of their duties. The Army Chief also called for continued dedication and patriotism from personnel, assuring them of his leadership's commitment to improving the overall welfare of the Nigerian Army.
Let me use this opportunity to remind our soldiers that my command philosophy remains firmly anchored on building a professional, highly motivated, resilient and combat-ready Nigerian Army capable of effectively addressing contemporary security challenges within a joint and multi-agency environment. At the same time, prioritizing the welfare and morale of our personnel. Within this vision, two pillars remain especially critical to the success of the Nigerian Army. These are leadership by example and sound administration with a strong commitment to troops' welfare. I am determined to make troops' welfare our topmost priority.
Administration at the Army headquarters, Major General Isa Abdullahi said the unique observance of both Christian and Muslim fasting periods serves as a reminder that while expressions of faith may differ, the underlying values remain similar. He noted that Ramadan and Lent both emphasize sacrifice, discipline, reflection, compassion, and renewal.
It reminds us that the strength of the Nigerian Army lies not only in our operational capability, but also in the unity of spirit that binds us together, regardless of background, culture, or faith. As soldiers, we serve one flag, one nation, and one mission. Our diversity is not a weakness. It is a source of resilience. When soldiers of different faiths fast side by side, endure together, and gather in shared reflection, it reinforces the truth that unity is built not on sameness, but on shared commitment and mutual respect.
The event brought together soldiers from different religious backgrounds to break fast together, symbolizing unity and a shared commitment to protecting Nigeria's territorial integrity and its sovereignty. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has advised Nigerians to exercise greater caution in the handling and use of materials and appliances that could easily trigger fire outbreaks, particularly under extreme heat conditions. The Director General of NEMA, Zubeida Umar, gave the advice and said it became necessary following the recent rise in daily temperatures and heat wave conditions across the country.
For many Nigerians, the intense heat being experienced in recent weeks is becoming a daily struggle. From crowded homes to busy markets and offices, people say the unusually high temperatures are making routine activities more exhausting and uncomfortable. According to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, the situation is not just about discomfort. The agency says the rising temperatures recorded across several parts of the country have been confirmed by forecasts from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, which indicate that the hot conditions may persist for some time. Authorities warn that extreme heat can also increase the risk of fire outbreaks, especially where electrical appliances, gas cylinders, and other combustible materials are not properly handled. The Director General of NEMA, Zubeida Umar, is therefore urging households, businesses, and public institutions to be more cautious by ensuring electrical connections are properly maintained, flammable substances are safely stored, and bush burning is avoided. Beyond the risk of fire, the agency is also calling on Nigerians to protect themselves from heat-related health problems by drinking enough water, reducing long exposure to the sun, and paying special attention to vulnerable groups such as children, the elderly, and people with existing health conditions. As the heat wave continues, authorities say simple safety measures can go a long way in preventing emergencies and protecting lives.
Did you know that glaucoma is the leading cause of irreversible blindness in Plateau State? Well, that's exactly what the state's Commissioner for Health, Nicholas Bamlong, told a gathering in Jos to mark the 2026 World Glaucoma Week. The Health Commissioner, however, outlined efforts by the state government and its partners to tackle the condition. AIT's Wakies Kwafut tells us more.
Glaucoma often develops without noticeable symptoms, and by the time most patients realize they have the disease, significant damage may have occurred. The condition is caused by increased pressure in the eye, which gradually damages the optic nerve. In Nigeria, glaucoma is estimated to affect between 1.5 and 2 million people. Activities to commemorate World Glaucoma Week in Plateau State began with a sensitization march through major streets of Jos, the state capital, to draw public attention to what experts describe as the silent thief of sight. To encourage early detection and treatment, the Plateau State government says it is collaborating with relevant partners to expand public awareness and screening programs.
Last year, Plateau State reported over 4,000 cases of glaucoma that were already on treatment, and about 500 cases were being diagnosed as new cases. The theme, Uniting for a Glaucoma-Free World, emphasizes the power of collective action in tackling one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness.
At a sensitization program for drivers, jointly organized by the Plateau State government and the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, participants were fully educated on glaucoma and how undetected vision loss can increase the risk of road accidents.
In glaucoma, what we aim to achieve is to prevent it from worsening or progressing and preventing one from eventually going blind. So irrespective of the treatment modality, whether medication, whether surgery, whether laser, we aim, the damage in glaucoma is actually irreversible. The aim of treatment is to halt it from progressing and to prevent the person from eventually getting blind.
Medical experts list risk factors for glaucoma to include advanced age, high blood pressure, diabetes, and family history of the disease, emphasizing the need for regular eye examinations for early diagnosis and management. Wakies Kwafut, AIT News, Jos.
We'll be back with more in this bulletin.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof, and crayfish flavors in 50 cubes Saver Pack and 100 cubes Super Saver Pack.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
Experts in science education have harped on the need, to mentor female secondary school students to embrace STEM. That is science, technology, engineering, and maths, to ensure that the reposition Nigeria's technological amongst the Committee of Nations. The Ogun State Deputy Governor, Noimot Salako Oyedele, who is an engineer, led other stakeholders and professionals in a forum on girl-child education in Abeokuta, where she advocated for more female students venturing into the fields of science and technology.
Across Nigeria and indeed Africa, women remain underrepresented in the field of science, technology, despite the increasing global demand for innovation and digital skills. Studies, however, show that in Nigeria, only about 22% of graduates in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are women, reflecting a significant gender gap in the sector. Across Africa, women account for less than one-third of researchers in science and technology, while even fewer girls pursue careers in engineering, mathematics, and information technology. Experts say closing this gap is critical to sustainable development, innovation, and economic growth on the continent.
For many years, women and girls were underrepresented in science and technology field. And you have heard today how Her Excellency was almost about the only woman in that class. I was in a class of 18 people, and we're just 3 girls, even in my own time. And it is supposed to be science, life science, but we're just 3 girls.
Go on industrial training for 3 months. So now we're in the field.
Then we started to see that, yes, we were in a men's territory because all the laborers were men. All the civil engineers on site, men.
At the Abeokuta Forum, stakeholders here emphasized that mathematics is the main foundation of science education. They urged girls to build confidence in the subject as a pathway to career development in engineering, medicine, robotics, and digital technology.
Mathematics is something you need to not be scared of. Something you just need to, be very patient about, and be determined that it's something you want to learn, because whichever profession you choose, be it art, be it law, be it management, you will require mathematics.
Young girls, when they have the opportunity and they study mathematics and they understand it, it's not going to be strange to them. So they're going to tell their children, direct them to, which way to go and what if. So education is very key. And education is not just key, mathematics is key.
I think that the girls are prepared to become leaders. They should have the same exposure to science and technology and computers as boys, and they should be able to succeed in their careers just as old.
The organizer says this mentorship program is part of a broader effort to inspire more girls to pursue STEM careers and build the next generation of female scientists, engineers, and innovators in Nigeria. Neyi Marayesa, AIT News, Abeokuta.
Better days for women folk took center stage as the Embassy of Belgium in Nigeria, in conjunction with NIGWED, is advancing opportunities for the female gender. The initiative is part of activities to mark the International Women's Day. The event also served as the official flag-off of the NIGWED 2026 to 2030 program. Our diplomatic correspondent, Sadia Dosumu, has more.
Diplomats, development partners and stakeholders gathered at the Embassy of the Kingdom of Belgium to mark International Women's Day, while advancing discussions on women's economic empowerment in Nigeria. The event highlighted the launch of the NIGWED Project 2026 to 2030 phase, aimed at strengthening women's entrepreneurship and expanding business support opportunities for women across selected states in the country. Organizers say the initiative will focus on empowering women-led businesses, improving access to funding, and providing training and mentorship to help women scale their enterprises.
It's not only about giving in terms of money, it's sometimes also giving in terms of creating a space for women in the jobs that were traditionally not carved out for them. We have to make space in all sectors of society. And it is, yes, also about economic empowerment. And this is something that in the events that we've organized with NIGWED and with CODEC and with Kordscoop, it's always been very central. The economic empowerment of women, about leveraging financial inclusion to support Nigerian women's social and economic development.
The Belgian ambassador to Nigeria and project partners emphasized the importance of supporting women entrepreneurs as key drivers of economic growth and sustainable development.
Everything you actually need for your business is in the hands of a woman. Sometimes you may have issues of, let's say, you need markets. Call a woman. She will direct you somewhere. She will definitely provide you. A woman is always ready to help. I would like to just emphasize that from this day onwards, our thinking should be how do we connect globally? How do we go out there and ensure that there is market for our women? Because all of us, whether you're in the product or in the service thing, we're looking for market.
We firmly believe that when women are given the right tools and opportunities, they not only transform their businesses, but also contribute significantly to national development. By embracing the principle of give to gain, we encourage stakeholders to strengthen collaboration, promote financial inclusion, and support initiatives that empower women entrepreneurs to scale their enterprises and compete globally.
The event also provided a platform for networking and dialogue among policymakers, private sector's leaders, and women entrepreneurs working to advance gender equality in Nigeria. Sadiat Dusumu, AIT News, Abuja.
That's AIT Report. I am Shola Jaisimi. I thank you for staying with us.
In our true colors. Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers.
Hussein, we are prefects. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that new squeak in Mvule High.
I hate this school!
Samuel Isaac Ode is 43 years old, hails from Oju local government area of Benue State. Samuel Isaac Ode has been diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, which requires urgent kidney transplant and is in need of 35 million naira only for his treatment. For your kind assistance towards Samuel Isaac Ode, kindly donate into the following account details. Account name: Samuel Isaac Ode. Bank: Zenith Bank. Account number: